think's going on? What do you think's going on, Arthur? We gotta figure out our stream here. I probably should have had that planned faster. Let's see. So I just need to open this up. Boom. Arthur, are you still there? Yep. He is still there. Wait a minute. Should I have... I probably should have hopped this over. So, it's fine. It's fine. See? That's why it's fine. Boom. Arthur, are you leaving? Arthur, are you leaving? You don't want to sit with me? It's kind of rude. It's kind of rude, bro. Oh, you want to play with that, huh? Arthur, that's the window, man. You can't... whatever. Ruin it, I don't care. You can burn this place down as long as I get everything out that I need. And we're goody. Alright, so I'm sharing this out here on Facebook or something. I don't really know. I'm taking care of business here. Hold on one second. Let me know if you can hear everything just fine and all that good stuff. And, you know, we are live on YouTube as well. I'm just going to share this out to, honestly, just the Reaper group. That's pretty much it. No, I'm lying to you. I'll probably share it somewhere else too, but... me oh my, man. Alright. What are we working on today? Everyone asks so innocently. What are we working on? What could it possibly be? What could it possibly... Yoink? You only thought I was gonna let you see that. Yup. No. Just kidding. Here it is. So we're gonna be rocking out on this bad boy right here. Sculpted by Mr. Paul Mueller, I assume. Nah, it's probably Muller. I'm probably not doing that one right. I feel like, okay. I actually think I need my holder real quick, so let me grab that. I only thought I was prepared today, so give me uno momento. Okay, that's the memento. Arthur, please don't. Okay, so Arthur. Oh Jesus! How fun was that? Look at that cool dynamic camera. All right, so that really screwed everything up. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Arthur is currently playing with the Vallejo bottle of pigment powder. So if he breaks that, we're gonna have a really awesome rest of the day. That's gonna be really fun. Actually, he's playing with his little electronic birdie now. Arthur was sick. I had to take him to the animal hospital. I had to take him to the animal hospital. I think yesterday. Yesterday. I don't know how I'm already forgetting, but he is going to be fine. He definitely hasn't been playing around much the last few days, but he appears to be in good spirits. And then unfortunately one of my geckos is going to die, most likely in the next day or so. And that is a really sad situation, and there's literally nothing I can do. So he could be euthanized, but it's so nature's gonna handle that, I should say. So but yeah, he had a piece of shed get stuck inside of his ear, and that caused an abscess, and you can't really fix that in reptiles. So unfortunately, that is all for him. All right, let me adjust my lights here. My lights are all out of whack. There we go. Look at this. Now we've got some real bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so I feel like that's a little bit not really. Actually, that is pretty close. Let me see on the small cam before we get started here, just to make sure. Yeah, I guess that's pretty close to the real deal. All right. After 4 minutes, finally ready to go. So I have no idea really the plan for this guy at all. We could start with the OSL, or we could start with everything else. So I think we should probably start with everything else first. I'm thinking a green, because you kiddos said purple and green originally, but we're going for like crazy neon colors. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I'm actually really upset about it dying. I'm pretty much watching it die, and like I don't have the money to get it euthanized, unfortunately. That's like $100. So I mean, like, it's like, don't worry if you think I'm a bad pet owner because I can't afford to euthanize a gecko, but I'm definitely feeling really upset about it every single day. So I've had him for like 5 years, and I don't know, it's just really upsetting. So I have two more. I have two girls, and they are just fine. One of them is super pregnant with his kids. But she's like so I've had her for 3 years, and she's never laid a viable clutch of eggs. And so I think probably the way that the universe works, she would lay a viable clutch after he's dead, knowing how weird the universe is. So we'll see if he actually has babies for the first time in his life. But every year it was always a struggle to see if I could get one of her clutches to work, but I just don't think she ever really got it down. It's very weird. So what I should say is, at the end of last year, I was prepared, like, sorry, I'm trying to get this, there we go. I was prepared for her clutch last year. However, she straight up laid it. Like, I had a hatch area for her. I had everything set up. And then she laid them on a rock directly under a lamp. And now I don't use a lamp at all anymore. I had one in my bedroom during the day just so that they like knew what time it was, so to speak, because they're nocturnal animals. And yeah, it dried that egg up immediately. So I lost that opportunity, and then I went out of town for like literally just overnight at one point a year ago, and she laid the clutch overnight, and so the eggs dried out. So I was like, damn, you know, it's so impossible to be able to guess when it's gonna happen. But I have a like hatch right kit ready to go the second I notice that she has laid those eggs, so I may actually be able to have some of them babies, but that'd be kind of cool. And then I would name all of them after their soon-to-be, unfortunately deceased daddy-o. But anyway, so yeah, it's been a really stressful few days, man. And this entire month is going to be stressful. I'm literally, it's just doing the best I can here. So you guys probably won't see me much this month at all. I'm focusing the entire week of the 22nd through 27th on my move. Since unfortunately I do live by myself, and you know, I don't really have anybody to help me, so it's gonna take a lot for me to actually move. So it is what it is, but I will make it somehow. Hopefully you guys will still be here whenever I'm back, but don't worry. I just have a lot of stuff to do. Oh, and I was told that Arthur is not fat yesterday, so there you go. The vet called him, so the vet specifically said that he's not fat. He has short legs that don't necessarily fit the proportions of his body, and so he is perfectly healthy, other than the weird little eye thing that he has going on. But beyond that, he's perfect. Oh, he heard me say that. I probably shouldn't have let him hear me. Or, I should not have let him hear me say that, because now he's gonna act all special all day. But yeah, it was funny, because I go in there, and I'm like, hey, he's got this gunk coming out of his eye, like, what's the deal? And they're like, oh my god, he's like in perfect health, look at this perfect cat. And I'm like, right, but what's going on with his eye? Like, can you tell me what's going on? They just kept talking about how perfect he was, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm paying you money that I have to borrow because I can't afford to take him to a vet either. So finally they're like, oh yeah, no, he just he bumped his eye or he scratched his eye, and so we'll just give him some antibiotic drops. And then they're like, but he's perfect. And the whole time he just wanted to explore the place, so what is that noise? Arthur, what are you doing? I can tell he's in a better mood because he's been just laying down the last like 2 days. Arthur, for real, what is that noise? Are you... Oh, he closed himself under the sink in the cabinet. That's funny. Paint-wise, all I'm doing right now is literally just quick layering my base color for the tabard here. And yes, it is driving me insane as well, so I will cover with a little bit of paint those little flecks of metallic. This is a metal mini. I take it the Scholar Plus class at the end of the move will be off. We'll see. It depends on when I actually move. So the last Saturday of the month is the 27th. Yeah, possibly. We may have to reschedule for the 3rd. But yeah, most likely. I don't know. I'll just have to play it by ear. I mean, it may only take me a day to like... Well, the actual move down to Texas will be 2 trips, most likely. It'll be a trip with my dad and I in like a U-Haul. And then we'll do that, drive him back, and then I'll come back down maybe that same day or maybe the next day with any final stuff. And then Arthur and the 2 geckos, sadly. So that'll be a couple days. And then like last night, it was really sad because I'm like, I don't really know what to store and I can't store a bunch of stuff. So I was just kind of looking through things to throw away that like I couldn't really donate. That didn't make sense to donate to anybody. So, you know, and then I'm trying to figure out like if I can sell furniture that I don't need. You know, it's just a hassle. Everything's a hassle. So it's really cool. It's a really fun thing. I love it. I suggest everybody gives it a shot. You know, it's like the coolest thing ever. But yeah. Yoink. There we go. Getting really good coverage of the screen though on top. This is a Reaper color. Am I lying? I think I'm lying. Nope, that's not a Reaper color. Sorry. Deep green model color. Oh man, did you guys see the really ugly Warhammer mini that they showcased today? It's for that new like warband skirmish game, Warcry or whatever. It's in a T pose. It for real looks like they phoned it in. It's like they were like, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Yeah, why not? Looks fine to me. But boy, is that an ugly sculpt. That's crazy to me. It's just so bad. Especially, I think the reason why I think it's so ugly is because they do digital modeling. So like literally that sculpt is just mirrored. It just seems so lazy. It's crazy to me. Like Games Workshop's been doing an amazing job with their sculpts, but not that one. At least in my opinion, I think it looks super dumb. Just, I don't know. That's like the first thing I've seen in so long from them that I'm like, how is that the move, you know? But if you haven't seen it, you can check it out. I think it's on the Warhammer community page. The other miniatures that are part of that faction, though, look cool. Especially from like a D&D standpoint, or some of these other games, like Numenera, they could work for in a weird scenario, or like even, I mean, they're weird. They're almost so neutral looking that they could pass for like sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, whatever. There's a lot of potential with those, but man, that ugly T-pose one, I just my brain is like, how do we even comprehend that, you know? But hey, I can't do it, so it's better than I can do. But I still think it's ugly. Let me know if you feel like the video is dark today, too. I feel like it should be okay. I always get so thrown off by the lighting difference between what I'm looking at here and then my second monitor that I use. 'Cause it always takes like a weird hit of reflection. Now, luckily, all of this cloth won't be getting that light. I loved this sculpt from the moment I saw it, and initially I didn't even realize it's like holding its guts, which it is. You know, and sort of like forced, gruesome stuff like that is not really my cup of tea. Everybody knows that I don't really think that that's like the most creative choice of all time, but I will say that I think everything else, I mean, even though it's holding its guts, whatever, like we'll make it happen, but I think just the whole like asymmetrical weight of the pose, even though you have composition wise, like it's kind of weird. Typically you would have some sort of like triangle composition, but if you look at this in terms of the golden ratio, which is like a nautilus shell in a square, so if you imagine a square in the center of your screen, and then we make a spiral starting in the top left-hand corner and then ending in the center, you can see that literally this has that same golden ratio sculpt, which is why I think Paul's such a good sculptor, right? Like he really does sort of have a composition, at least for the most part, from the miniatures I've seen from him. There's always a good weight and balance in the sculpt, so when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is definitely a really sweet pose because of the way that it's weighted. Even if there are guts hanging out, but you know, it won't be super obvious. I did do a slight zenithal from above. Now, obviously, this is all just Natterall with the magenta and pink or whatever from below to start off the OSL. But otherwise, on top, it's pretty much just a little bit of gray, just so I could at least get a little bit of help on these base foundation layers of the colors that I'm using. I don't necessarily know how bright I want to take it. I think I'm going to have to do highlights muted in order to get the OSL effect to work correctly, so in terms of saturation. Man, I watched a video recently of somebody explaining OSL, and they had some hot takes. But for me, rather than focusing on having your lighting be the brightest part of a miniature, you can also get a great effect saturation-wise, right? I mean, these edges that are getting cut down here in the cloth because of the contrast between two analogous colors like this is really also going to help you. You don't even necessarily have to worry about anything else. So that's typically how I always look at it. All right, so I think I'm pretty happy. This part back here is a little bit weird. because I'm not sure how some of these parts are getting the light or the color, like in this weird little fold section, but it's fine. I literally just had a fart escape from my glove. When I pushed down on the pommel, it went all the way down. How funny. Did I just call that a pommel? First of all, can we pause? Is that appropriate to call that a pommel? That was the immediate word my brain went to, so I guess that's correct. But... Jeez, Arthur, did you guys hear him slam that? Arthur, what's up, dude? What are you doing? You have 2 containers of food in front of you. Oh my gosh, he's a mess. It's gonna be great when I move, though. There's like a, the entire house that I'm moving into is in, it's like this. So here's how the house works, right? So the entire house is essentially a big square like this, right? And then you have the front door. Now it's pretty big, but you have the front door, and then like here is the kitchen, and then this is a front room right here, and then in the back there is a huge room. This is where I'm going to be doing all the workshop. And then over here, whoop, is the living room, and then the bedroom I'm gonna be in is right there, and then right here is like another computer room, and then this is the master bedroom, and then there's a little like in-between room right here in the garage, and then there's a pool and stuff in the back. But right here in the center of the house is completely open and to the outside, and it's covered with like another piece of roof. So it's completely outside, but it's also interior. It's cool. It's like an inside outdoor room or whatever. But he'll be able to go out there and hang out and like sunbathe, and I won't have to worry about anything because it's literally enclosed in the house. So I know he's going to be obsessed with that. He's going to be obsessed with the new house anyway. He's going to love it. Oh, I also figured out I am going to enter a Chibi mini into ReaperCon this year as well. So I picked that one out last night, and I've got it ready to prep. You guys have no idea how much work I'm going to have to do immediately after I move to get every single entry that I want done for ReaperCon. I mean, it is going to be a photo finish, my friends, but we're going to get it all done. Okay, I think I'm pretty much happy with the placement of this. Nope, I'm not. I lied. I knew there was one spot left right here. This all needs to get covered up. I'll cover this up too. I'm just trying to make sure I have the angles right. Otherwise, we're going to run into some not so believable, highlight structures. There we go. That's an odd fold. At least for the effect I'm going for, but we'll make it work. Okay, so I think we're good. What's up, Ivano? Ivano Palucha? Where are you from, buddy? That sounds like a Italian or possibly Spanish name. Alright, so we're rocking out on that. Contraposto? Okay, wait a minute. I'm missing things in the chat. The fluff is cool. Yeah. Well, and aren't they from Shish, right? So it's like they're from the undead realm in Age of Sigmar, but they like hate undead. So they're like, even though they look crazy, but they are crazy. I don't know. It's very interesting. Contraposto. JV. With the architecture terms. Oh, no. Sorry. You're talking about that guy. Yes. Well, I don't know what you guys are saying. Sounds great. But, alright, so, I am also live on YouTube. If anybody's watching over there on YouTube. Oh my god, is it set to private? Oh no, it's set to public. Alright, we're good. Alright, well, we are live on YouTube at 1080 as well. For those of you that are in the mini painting group, thank you to those of you that have been following the rules. After we changed the rules, I had to kick like 5 more people within a day because they just kept posting stuff they're not supposed to, so that's pretty funny. But that's, you know, I turned off all the cross-posting and everything like that in that group because I want it to be more of a, like, not a discussion group, right? But I think you guys are getting the idea from the posts that I'm starting in there more frequently. Like, if there's, you know, what is your favorite miniature that you wish you had, or what's a miniature you wish you could paint, right? Like, different things like that to just talk about the hobby and, like, get people excited about it and not just be like, hey, here's my Patreon link, or hey, here's a link to this other thing. It's just like, no, we're not doing that. Because I know there are a lot of people that don't post in general in some groups because there are there's such a huge commercial aspect to a lot of it, and so they don't feel like it's a place where they can really discuss a lot of stuff. The Reaper group is a good example of a group that doesn't do that, and they also enforce their rules pretty well. But it was funny seeing that group turn into, especially like, to be honest, right? It is my group, so I thought it was funny to start seeing people like advertise in there and then send me messages being like, hey, why'd I get kicked out? I'm like, because you can't. It's not about self-promotion, dude. That literally is a rule since day one. So, see ya. I wasn't happy with that section right there. Alright. Super cool. Let's highlight this up a little bit more. So now, please brace yourselves, but we are going to highlight up with this color. Brian, yeah. So just share, if you're sharing into that group, you just post the image right there. Like, I feel like the, yeah, that's just what it is. Like, that group is not meant for, that type of interaction. That's just not what I'm looking for. And at the end of the day, it's my group, so I literally don't care what anyone has to say. For real, I do not care. So, you know, I had some people message me and be like, I'm asking for permission to continue to cross-post. I'm like, no. Like, what? If I tell you a rule is a rule, like, no. Alright, I guess. Alright, so here we go. I need to make sure this is thinned out enough, otherwise this is a doo-doo brain scheme, which for me is pretty typical, but we're trying to not do that today. Alright, here it comes. Flesh tone on green. Bada bing, bada boom. Please don't be awful. We're gonna have to let that dry for a second. It's obviously too thin, but we're gonna have to see how that works. Well, I wouldn't boot you, Brian. Seeing as how I actually know you as a human being, I would be like, hi, remember. Alright, so I think this is a
perfect little secret undertone. And let me show you why. What the actual plan is here. But you guys already know what the plan is. I bet some of you can already guess what we're about to do. You know how I paint?
Yeah, Facebook, it won't notify people today since it's been so long since I've streamed last.
They're just gonna punish me because that's how they treat small businesses. Just wait. Whenever they roll out their 1080p streaming for the general public, I guarantee you there's going to be a feature where you can pay to push notifications through. I guarantee you. Like, I don't know if you guys understand this. So when I post something to the Facebook page, it will not go to every person that liked my page unless I pay Facebook. So I have 4,000 something people. I don't know, 4,500. I'll do a post and maybe 500 people will see it that have liked my page unless I pay Facebook every single time. So it's a cool thing. It's really good for people that like don't have money, you know. But a lot of people don't realize that's the deal unless you start to run your own page. So, and even then it has to get, you know, over a few thousand, and then it's going to be like, "Hey, you can reach 1,000 more of your fans if you pay us $8, $10. It's always this nickel and dime stuff too, so that if you actually start to fall for it, right, that you don't feel too bad every time. You're like, oh well, it's only $10. But at the end of the year, when you realize you've spent like $4 grand, like, all right. I am loving this contrast right here, though. Super crazy. It's crazy that this light doesn't change anything. Hold on. Dusty Neil. Now, I'm sure your name is Dusty, but I would really love it if your name was Neil. Or if you just went by Neil. But I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard that in your life, so I'm sure it's annoying, so I do apologize, but... Now, I would say I would rather be a Dusty than a Neil, but I do love that idea. You know how like everybody in their life, they'll meet somebody with a name, and then like from that point forward, you can only associate that name with one person? I don't know why I just thought of that, but I think that stuff is so intriguing. I would like to stay on Facebook for as long as I can and then transition to YouTube if I'm going to move anywhere. Like if somehow YouTube gets better, but I don't think it will. I think we're pretty much looking at our options for at least the next year. Because yeah, I am not doing that Twitch thing. I'm done with that. It just makes me so sick watching some of the people on there. And people here on Facebook too, to be honest, but it is what it is, man. Blocking in sort of our highlights here. So we're going for like the craziest neon highlighting from below. So that's why all these highlights on the tabard right now are pretty chill, because that's pretty much as bright as I want to take that section. I don't want to go much brighter than this. At least for now. You know, you never want to go too far too fast. Alright, that's cool. I have all of this brown paint from just an insane amount of fur I was doing earlier today. Where's an example of one of these fur boys? Now, I have like 30 of these to knock out, 20, I don't know. I do like the skin. In the chat, let me know how long you think it took me to do the skin with the shading and everything like that. Winner gets nothing but my respect and admiration. What's up, Joanne? Who did I just see a minute ago? I saw somebody. Shane was... That's who I saw. Hey, Shane. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate that. You know what's funny? So even if you don't think... This is just a PSA in general, okay? So this isn't for me. This is just for everyone in the world. And I think it's a good idea. So if you like something, even... So, like, let's say you hear a song and you would never listen to it again, right? You hear a song and you're like, well, that's not the worst thing I've heard. Cool. And you would never listen to it again. I think that with paint jobs that you see online or anything, if it's not the worst thing you've ever seen and you don't really care about it, but it's not bad, I do feel like you should tell someone you like it. And this isn't like just because Shane like reminded me of this. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. So a good example, right? So I do this for a living, and I've won awards, and I teach at conventions, and I've done box art for companies, and all of that. Not like if you have like a checklist of things that if you were going to turn the hobby into like something as cool as you can do it, like those are all things you would probably want to do at some point, right? Just through my phone. But if I ever share something that I won an award for, or if I share work that I'm excited about, no one in my family tells me that it's good. None of my friends that I know tell me that it's good, unless it's something I like directly send them I'm excited about. So, I had this realization where it was like, if I'm someone who does this for a living that like really wants people to see my work and my friends and family could care less, then I think it would mean even more to other people who are just doing it for fun to be told that someone likes their stuff or they like their paint job. And it isn't even like, you'll see me comment a lot, and I won't say that I just blindly love someone's paint job. What I'll say is I'll be like, I like the decision you made to do this, or I really think you did this well. It'll always be like one detail that I can find that I appreciate. So, long story short, I think it's really important to tell people that you like something about whatever they painted, even if you don't think it's amazing, because like that, who else is going to tell them that they like it? You see what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's something that I sort of realized recently. Was like, wow, it doesn't really matter what my accomplishments are as a painter or like how great something I think it is, because the people that are going to respond to it aren't my friends and family. So that means that's probably true for everybody else. Like getting encouragement isn't going to come from what you would traditionally think of being your like support in life or whatever, your usual support circles. So I've been trying to do that a lot more. Just let people know, you know, I think this is really clever, or I do like that, etc., etc. Because I know I really appreciate it. Like, I really do appreciate it when people say they like my work. Like, literally, somebody resurrected a post that I made from, like, a week and a half ago just to tell me they didn't like one part of something I painted. Thanks, dude. Like, wow. What amazes me is that person also can vote, right? Like, things like that. I'm just like, what? What is wrong with people, man? It's so stupid. Like, wow. It takes a special kind. But I think literally, I don't care if you don't think something's amazing. You can still find something you can appreciate in everybody's work. So that's my PSA for today, is just tell people you like stuff. Like, if you think it's cool, just say you like it. Because I know I appreciate it. Because I don't hear it from anybody else. So... So I sort of want to hit... I don't think I can, actually. So what we're going to need to do is layer in one more color. Okay, so I need to... Alright. I know what I'm doing here. I know what I'm doing here as I, like, blindly continue to paint. One thing I was thinking of earlier, I was having a discussion with myself in terms of when I was just working on bulk stuff. And I was trying to think about the fact that, like, whenever you work on traditional art, or like when I was in college for fine art, you really do a lot of preparation with your paint before it ever hits your palette or whatever you're working on. And with miniature painting, people don't really do that at all. Like, what they do is they just sort of do, like, exploratory painting. So they're like, I think I know the colors that I want, and then, like, you go and you start pulling colors, just whatever, as you're working, which obviously is just fine. But I realized, like, in my own work, maybe I would benefit more from, before I started working on something, literally selecting my palette, having it in front of me. Like, I moved all of my paint away from in front of me so that I can try this out and see if it helps. And I do think it's making me a better painter already, because I'm not wasting time making decisions, trying to figure out a palette as I'm exploring a paint shop. Now, obviously, I make different decisions based upon what I have in front of me, but I'm like limiting that part of the process out. So I no longer am trying to paint that way, and I think it's actually really helped out. I don't know if it would potentially help you out as well, but it's something that so I don't even know, right? It's something I'm experimenting with, is trying to do more preparation, because whenever you're doing fine art, at least like in all the painting classes that I took, a big part of it is like preparing the color palette so that way you have it all there for you, and you can approach a piece with a little bit more structure, and it helps you out. Like, it's I don't know, it sort of helps you keep momentum going, because you're not sort of tied to being like, okay, now I gotta look for this, and then maybe you find another color. Like, it just sort of interrupts the process too much. So, which is a complete 180, obviously, from how I always operated with paint, but it may help somebody out. So go ahead and experiment with me, and then literally let me know, right? Like, send me a message and be like, hey, I tried it out. And I'm not kidding. I mean, I would really like someone to try it and see if it feels different for you as well, like preparing first and then painting, because it's sort of I feel like if it's something that I explored further, it could be turned into some type of really objective method, which could be good. So, sort of along the same lines of, like, people that wear, like, geniuses and billionaires that literally just wear the same thing every day because it, like, helps their process. It could be semi-translated to miniature painting, right? Like, if you just prepare the same way every time rather than exploring, it may increase the effectiveness of your painting. All right, so we're pretty much done with that. Now then, we have a ton of metal on this dude to play with, but we have that extremely, like, neon pinkish color, and then we have the green. So I think the next color that I want to layer in is going to be the belt. For the belt, we're actually going to end up using Cavalry Brown, the best color of all time. If you disagree, we can fight. So let's see.
James Meredith says 3 hours. You want a 3-hour stream today? No. No, James. The answer is no. Well, now that color is getting 1000% lost on camera, but I think if we flip to the back, no, it's probably gonna get lost there too. That's fine. It's like too close to the magenta, but that was okay. I mean, that's fine. The real delineation of the belt, the leather in the belt, is going to be the metallics anyway, so it's not like I necessarily care about it all too much. Oh, JV, good call. Sorry, I went on a worthless rant and totally forgot I asked that question. Yeah, so this was probably per miniature, I want to say 6 minutes? Yeah. 6 minutes. So it's not too bad, but the method that I've been playing around with a lot, which is more than like what you see. I mean, I don't even know if that reads on camera. Yeah, this is like mid that whole stage. What's a good example? So this guy is going through the same process here of different color application. But yeah, essentially what I've been doing is like 2 airbrush base layers, a wash, airbrush on top, and then like a final focal point wash, and that seems to be doing really well. And you can use it on the major sections of a miniature, so whatever the major color is going to be. So like all of those guys where they had the majority of their skin showing. Another example would be all the orcs from Green Horde. I also did them the same way. They're sitting all in a giant container to my left. So you just sort of pick whatever color you want, and then you do a focal wash to bring out details. And then that way, if you need to go back and highlight further, you can do so relatively easily. But yeah, because there were I mean, I don't know. All of them I did that probably in about 2 hours with as many of them as there are. And then it'll probably take me another 2 hours to finish them up, which is cool. And then I'll move on to finishing up some more stuff. Like, I might do this guy on stream. Let me know if you'd be interested. Let me find this boy. He's a very cool boy. Very cool guy. Bada bing. So, what you're looking at here is the exact same thing that I was describing. So obviously I did all of the base airbrushing for the base coats first, then I went back and did a wash to then go back into the areas that the airbrush just completely covers, and so this has one more airbrush application with the same colors again on top, and it's going to perfectly shade it out, and then you just go in and do the details, which are all the like iron cages and the face. There's like a collar and stuff, so but you know, this is like maybe 10 minutes of work, and then it'll take like 20 minutes of detailing and it'll be done. So it's just sort of figuring out like ways to implement that into a system, objectively speaking, to make things go fast.
But yeah, I've literally just been painting groups of just the exact same thing. Like hundreds of miniatures that all look, well, they don't all look the same, but same colors, same everything. Hoping to have that entire thing done by next Monday. I'm going to have to work all through the weekend again and stay up all night, probably one of those nights, to make it happen. But, you know, I regularly am forced to sacrifice my health because I just don't have time. So, there you go. Later this evening, I'll have all of the Scholar stuff ready to go into the mail for tomorrow. Brian's big old goth will be going into the mail. And, yeah. That'll be this week, most likely. I don't really know of anything else going on this week other than me painting. Non-stop. I feel like the camera, I need to clean my lens or something, because it's like very strange. It is at a weird angle right now, though, to be fair to the camera. There's some texture here on this boy. Josh Green, what's up, dude? Oh, I should tag Paul in the comments. Six times 30. There's more than 30. And I said only 2 hours. And the question was how long it took me to get to that. So no, James. Excuse you in your math. God. Shane, what did I miss? Did you ask me something I missed? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, JV. Show your work. Did I say 30? No, there's more than 30. Let me see. I'm counting. There's 36. But I said it took me 2 hours total, so I'm wrong on my per person. So it's so 2 hours divided by 36. There you go. That's what we're looking for. Video proof. Man, you know, you guys demand me to do a lot of free stuff for you. I find that pretty cute. Oh yeah, I was gonna tag Paul. Hold on. I want him to see his sculpt getting painted. I feel like if I was a sculptor, I would be obsessed with watching people paint my stuff. I mean, maybe not, but for some reason, I think that would be like so awesome to watch my stuff come to life. I'm loving the belt. Look at the color on that belt. Ooh, boy. James, why are you arguing with me? 3.33. Boom. See, I told you. I was completely halfway wrong. Well, my prize, I said, was my appreciation, right? Or something. I don't remember. I just talk. I don't remember anything. Oh, yeah, let me tag the man of the hour here. Oh, is it not gonna let me? Hold on, sorry guys. I have to like comment as my personal account. Wow. Wow. Oops, nope, that's not how you spell that name. Wait, why is it not letting me? Oh my gosh, I literally hate Facebook so much. It's not letting me just tag him. Okay, well, I don't know how to make that happen, but that's really stupid. Okay. You gotta love it when Facebook is just wrong about something.
Alright, so I'm happy with that. That looks cool. Let's clean up the back a little bit. What just got stuck to my brush? What is this? What is that?
Where did you come from? What is this? Hold on. What are you? It's hard as a rock. Oh, it's a piece of basing.
Oh, okay, well. That is crazy old. It was like a basing mix with sand and like rock and stuff. Oh, I need to do the middle. Onion? Diced onion? No.
God, diced. If it was a diced onion, somebody broke into my house. I don't know. I know your boy hasn't had any diced onion.
Alright, so let's do the back edge. I saw another person complaining about the Origins masterclasses today.
Made me so happy. Not that somebody wasted their time, but I'm glad that people are starting to smell the BS in the air.
All right, so I just wanted to brighten that up a tad. All right, so what do you think? What do we go for next here? I mean, we're just slowly building it in. The metal's obviously going to be a whole thing. The staff is going to be a whole thing. The head, the face, I have no idea. You want to do the bell? We can do the bell. The bell could be simple. Let's do the bell.
So for the bell, we're gonna need. We're gonna use this.
Look at the condition of this color, guys. Look at this. I'm a professional. You can trust me. Look at all of these people asking questions. JV, aren't you the person that... Did you not message me with the same complaint? Same complaint that you had. Sort of. I saw a post this morning, someone saying that they're leery to take classes at any other conventions because the master classes, quote unquote, they took at Origins were, they felt like infomercials, and the person painting didn't actually know any painting, like better than what they did. So they were pretty upset. And that makes me mad, right? Because if you are going to promote some BS at like a super famous convention like that, and someone literally is afraid to take classes from like real actual painters because they had a bad experience, that makes you a bad person. So
but yeah, people were not happy. That is now multiple people I've seen post about it.
But that's what makes me mad, is that they're like, I don't know if I want to do classes anywhere else if that's how it works. It's like, first of all, that's not how it works, and anyone running it like that should just be ashamed of themselves. But we'll save judgment. You know, it's fine. Actually, no, we're not going to save judgment at all. I mean, I think all that is super whack, and I think all those people are industry plants, and they're just pushing their way in to make money, which is pretty disgusting. But I'm just happy that people, you know, were pretty quick to smell what was going on. But yeah, when I saw somebody else use like the exact same language as another complaint that I saw, I was like, all right, it must be real at that point, because you wouldn't have multiple people saying what they're saying. There we go. All right, so now I've got that base in.
Oh, that's weird. There's like a little bubble right there or something. So I'm actually, I think I may be able to get away with this, of using Cavalry Brown mixed with the skin tone to make our next base tone for our gold here. We're sort of doing brass, but
Nice brass bell.
I have to say that it really seems that Origins has become nothing but a giant commercial for certain companies.
I'll go ahead and say it. You mean like WizKids? And Watsy? Yeah, no, it's like super obvious, man.
I feel like the
Gamers Unite meme.
is like totally how these companies are treating some of those conventions.
They're like, hey, fellow gamers. No. No. We're not. That's not what's going on here. We're not going to let that happen.
That's what sucks too, actually, is whenever you see people that like are good for the industry, like being forced to interact with that because it's now like such a prevalent part of the job.
Because you're like, man, I know you are not into this, but like you literally have to be a part of it. So,
oh well, industry's industry, I guess.
God forbid they like support the artists. Instead, they just like hire.
They don't even, I mean, dude, it's getting as bad as, like, I really do feel like some of these people are not organic at all. Like, there is a good chance industry plants exist in our part of the industry as well.
And if you're not sure what an industry plant is, you don't listen to hip-hop, so...
There we go. This is the brass color I was looking for. Ooh, wee. Let's get some texture going. Ooh. Ooh, yep. There it is.
We are cooking with gas now. Let me... Let's get in there. Actually, you know what it's like? When I would do art shows, right? Something that I thought was really entertaining is, I did a festival for Goodwill, and Goodwill actually never paid me the money for my sold paintings, which is interesting. But I guess if it's for charity, I can't complain. However, they were supposed to take 30% and they took 100. But, so I had a booth, or not even a booth, I had like a full tent, and they had me in like the main pavilion, and next to me is a person who I would describe as like artwork that you would find in like TJ Maxx, right? Like just very decorative, whatever, no real point to it other than just it's a thing. And I was kind of confused because they had their art priced. I mean, we're talking like $3,000, like crazy pricing. Like you really would need to be a known artist. And they were really nice. They come over, and I had my stuff marked at like 180, 300, whatever. And I remember they come over, and they're like, wow, I love your work. How long have you been doing art? And I'm like, well, my whole life. I went to college for it, so, this is like what I do. And the artist who was speaking to me was like, oh, yeah, this is my 5th show. I just started painting 6 months ago. And I'm like, what? And then I realized that it was the spouse of one of the organizers of the event. Then I proceeded to watch as this person sold like 7 $3,000 paintings to their friends that were coming to see them. And I was like, wow, thank you so much for putting in all the hard work. But it's good enough. I mean, knowing that Goodwill kept all my money, I'm glad that they kept all her money, I hope, but I doubt it, right? Because spouse of the organizer. But I feel like it's the same way with some of these industry people. Because, like, there have been people that have been in this game painting forever, and, like, they don't get touted around by all these companies now that sort of have this, like, traveling group of internet personalities, so... They're like, yeah, I'm teaching master classes. I started painting 4 months ago. when WizKids told me this was my job. Must be nice, bro. One thing I do like, though, is that I can literally say whatever I want all the time, and it doesn't matter. I know that there are other people in the biz that cannot freely speak about the products they work with because it's part of their job. And they got to keep their job. So that is one thing that I think all of you are painfully aware of, is that I will not lie about anything. I will always tell you guys what I'm thinking, so... From the jump, you will know how I feel. Alright, so I think this is a good enough brass base. Let's back it up. Because remember, we're going to be competing against the reflection coming from below, all that beautiful magenta. That! JB! Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, Dana, for real. Goodwill is trash. They're a fake charity. Nobody should support Goodwill. They figured out how to work the system, so. God, JB, I want that to be a shirt. Thank you so much, JB. Oh my god, that like hurts me. It's so good. I won't need to eat lunch or dinner for the rest of the day. That was such a satisfying comment. Jesus. Oh, you guys want to buy one of my loot boxes? Oh my god. I love it. Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much. I really needed that to cheer me up a bit. Jeez, man. Cheers. There it is. Ooh, that perfect highlight. Sorry, man. Let's get in real close. Let's medically examine our bell. That sounded awful. Wow. How to get an impossible shot. Here we go. I call this my pixel technique. Shout out to Bohoon. It's definitely not stippling. Man, I'm talking all kinds of trash today. I'll stop. More so just light ribbing towards Bohoon. That's light ribbing. I love his work, so don't get me wrong. But I am stippling this in, for sure. I don't want it to build up too fast, so tiny little egregious dots. Who wants to get some gaming going or painting whenever I move down to Texas? I know there are quite a few of you guys that live down there. I can't wait. I think it'll be awesome to finally, like... Well, here's the deal that I've learned. I will need to actually go and play at game stores before I tell them what it is that I do for a living. Because every game store here in Oklahoma City, other than Game HQ because they're too far away from me, literally has tried to take advantage of me some way or the other. And it's so disappointing that I don't have like any local store I can support. So I've already been to Texas Toy Soldier quite a bit, so I know just from visiting my friends. So I know that I'll be in there hanging out quite a bit. And I know the owner of that spot is like really nice, really good, really cool guy.
Their pricing is competitive. They have a clean store. You know, so it's a chill spot. So I'm going to be hanging out there. I know there's some other stores as well. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to get kicked out of Reaper headquarters as much as possible, so you can expect that. And then I'm probably also going to be involved as much as I can at the Warhammer Citadel as well. So I'm going to be all over the place as frequently as possible, mostly because I won't just be living by myself anymore, so I don't want to, like, always be around like I have been for the past few years, just working from home. But there's also, like, not cool places to go do events and stuff, so around here locally at least. It was funny because I had one local person, like, pretty excitedly describe a store to me that literally did the shadiest thing ever, and I was like, so here's my experience with this store. I just think a lot of these guys know how to handle stuff, like, business-wise. They don't really know how to ask for certain things, and it can cause problems. Alright, so I think that's as far as I'm going to take the bell until we start doing the highlighting from below. So now, y'all want to do a sickle? Or a scythe? What do you want? Drop it in the chat what you want next. I don't really care, I'll do it. I'll do it. I have no moral compass or self-will. Just tell me what you want, and I'll do it next. Where in Texas? I'll be in Carrollton, right next to Denton. That's where I'll be. All the time. I grew up in Allen. I was born in Plano. Do you guys like my new hat? You like that? Look at that. Shout out to my buddy Dave. So, scythe. Why are you saying scythe? Oh, right. Sorry. Jesus, I'm sorry. I am so triggered by all these scythe commissions that I've painted. It's so deeply ingrained in me that when I read I can tell you the word scythe, but when I read it, I'm like, is this something I've forgotten? Jeez, man. All right. Serrating? JV, what? Or serrating? Yeah. DFW area. All right, cool. So, yeah, let's work on this weapon. So I'm actually interested in this right now because I'm going to use 3 different colors from the Cav line. So I'm going to use 3 different colors here from the Cav line. We are using Cav Schwarzenwald Gray. That's an interesting choice, isn't it? But whatever, it's a gray color. And then we've got an even deeper blue gray. You guys already know what this is. This color is my absolute new favorite. People have already messaged me where to find it so I can buy it. Oh, George Surratt. Of course. I read serrating. I was like, what? So we've got this gunmetal, and then the last color right here we're gonna use is this Hydra Blue. This is like a secret non-metallic metal kit if you buy all 3 of these. So, but I shall demonstrate. Oh my God, this just dragged paint all over my desk and the brushes. Look at this. This is wet right here. I need to make sure that's dry. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is going on? Where is this from? Okay, hold on, guys. I don't want to, like, get... Perfect. I love how I just mysteriously get this paint on me. It's because I wear it where I leave my wet palette, because I can't have it directly in front, like a lot of painters do. Alright. Chase. Chase. Oh, that's how I did it. Yep, it is because of exactly where I'm leaving that wet palette, like a complete dum-dum. Alright.
Actually, I think I'm most excited about moving just to finally see new people on Tinder. I think that's probably it's probably perk number 1, I think. Cause boy, have I run out of options here. I'm only partially kidding, of course, partially. I've made many friends. I've also met people that asked me to do stuff for free. I literally have matched with girls on Tinder, Bumble, whatever, that are like, wow, you should paint my D&D character. I'm not even kidding. This happened multiple times. Why is this so much longer, that one spot? Anyway, multiple girls have been like, hey, can you paint my character for my D&D group? Da, 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 da. Immediately, I'm like, you want me to do something for free? No, that's not how this works. I immediately don't like you. Little water tapering. You know, I realized that this water taper deal... Oh, it's 3 o'clock. I realized this water tapering for real is like... It's almost like a racer. It's like being able to... There we go. It's like being able to lay stuff down and then immediately pick it back up. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it's a technique that I am really trying to perfect here. I feel like this is something people don't do, and it's if you can get it to be consistent, even if it's a little bit more difficult, it's definitely worth it. You can see me like preparing the area for the water taper by doing that, getting it really wet, and then going back in with the color, and then boom, it's. And what's cool too is it dries so fast in those really thin areas. All right. I'll check the chat here in a second. I haven't looked here. And I'm sure there's been a lot of spicy talk, so I'm sure we've got some spicy talk. Got some real bodega quality comments in here. Hey, that's a nice transition. Hey. Hey, now this side, we gotta do a little bit more work. But we can make it work. We can always make it happen. Hey, could you not reflect and rub off like the primer you are? Thank you. Hey! Stop looking at me. I feel like anytime something reflects back at me, it's looking at me. I don't know if that makes me, like, clinically insane or only, like, sort of insane, but that's the best way I can describe it for you. Alright, more water tapering, just doing it. See me drawing in the shape that I'm looking for. Like an animal. There we go. That's a little bit too much. There it is. Now we got it rolling. Now we got it rolling. Boom. Tape here. Look at that. Look at it dry on that side. Perfecto. Perfecto. I'm gonna need to go a little bit darker on the top there, but pretty much perfect. And I wish there was like an easy way to sort of describe how tapering like that works, but because you are, so you're like Jeff Goldblum with the droplet of water on the back of your hand in Jurassic Fart, right? Like that's literally, so it's kind of hard, like depending on the surface you're doing it on. Oh, feel free to share this out, please. I've only shared it one place, so if you could, please, right now, if you're watching, either say hello in the chat or share the video. I will appreciate you. What am I seeing here? Okay, so let me see. JV says friends in quotes. Chris says that's not a fair trade exchange. Fair trade in what? Trust me. None of this is fair. Okay, almost said something I shouldn't say. Yeet. But, no. Man, Chris, bro, y'all don't even know. I've got some stories of some awkward things. Very awkward things. Ugh, so awkward. And I know I can't say anything about it. Oh, hi, Victoria. Victoria is here. Boom. All right. Now, what's interesting about this is that technically, according to the laws of pretentious non-metallic metalwork, the very bottom part of this scythe should technically be in shadow. However, does it look like I care? Exactly. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to treat that as if it's getting full-blown reflected, because I feel like visually speaking it would be more exciting. But let me explain why it would be that way. So if our light source is coming directly from below, there is a bit of a hook and a curve at the very tip of that blade edge, so it wouldn't get the full reflection from below. So the very tip and just the tip of this would be darker. I just don't care. We're not... What do I look like? Do I look like a painter? That's not what I do here. Alright, this is totally clogged in the tip. My nip is clogged here, so we gotta... Ooh. Actually, so I've told people this before. I almost sort of wish... This is crazy to say, and it's not necessarily true, but I end up wasting paint if I squeeze it out. So like literally all my paint's clogged, and then I do the cap method where you just pop it off and drop it, and I feel like I don't use as much paint. So maybe I don't want it to be a dropper. I don't know. I don't even want to say that. I feel like that's a crazy thing, but I will be honest with you, right? Like, I end up always wasting so much paint with a dropper. But I don't like the structure of a pot of paint, like GW or P3. Pu3. Pu3. I feel like I do like their palette. I feel like P3 paints are closer to the palette of Vallejo model color in a crazy way. I am noticing some hiccups here on the connection. Let me check my info here. Let me see if it's just Facebook or if it's me. It's me. Okay, that's cool. It says we've dropped 1% of our frames today. I mean, that's not like the worst thing on the planet, but it could be worse. Oh, do you know what movie I watched recently that I thought was pretty good? Shin Godzilla. It was the like newest one out of Japan. It was pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's pretty good. And then of course I watched all of Stranger Things in between the time that we've spoken last, which I thought was good as well. I was worried they were gonna ruin it somehow, and I don't think it's ruined. So shout out to you, Netflix. I was kind of worried with some of the weird directions with season 2. Some of the stuff was going. I was like, you guys are really reaching to, like... There's a lot of reaching going on over here. I felt like they were trying to get a bit of, like, all these different genres in the second season.
All right, let's bust out the lightest gray here. This
Hydra Blue.
Oh, no spoilers in the chat. I don't want anyone to ruin the part when the dragon shows up. But anyway, so
we're going in. So I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow, but you guys will see me on Friday. If I do stream tomorrow, we might just work on this guy. Like, we may work on him all the way through Reaper Friday.
Just for fun. I also do have the Monk, the free mini for this month, the Bones Black Monk. And I feel like the box art for that was just very plain, so we may go and do our own crazy version of that guy as well. Since the cool ogre got such a fun review, we may try and make that monk look crazy with some like freehand all over the robes, probably, if I had to guess. That's how I would approach it. Since it's so smooth, may as well give it something crazy.
Being careful as I highlight this up, only because obviously we don't want to go too bright as we are waiting for sort of our contrast comparison with the light source below. Which, honestly, I can probably begin to work on now after the application of the green, the bell. Like, I feel like I have enough colors on here to be able to sort of safely navigate the level of saturation and brightness that we need. We do the OSL from below.
But otherwise, it's pretty killer. Like I said, these three colors are really great for non-metallic metal. Obviously, you're going to want some white.
Maybe some black, depending on how you work. I don't use black when I paint, so that's always a limiting factor for me. But depending on your style, you can do, whatever you want. I'm definitely not the kind of painter that's going to tell you anything's like right or wrong. Because it's art, dude. It's art. When you do art, it's spelled O-A-U-R-T. Art. So, really just trying to keep the highlight fine. Very subtle. I think that's perfect. That is like exactly the level of highlight that we want. Because obviously, right, we're going to make everything else super bright coming from below. So we want to make sure that we're not overstepping our bounds, so to speak, in terms of color. And I think that's pretty much where I want to leave that. I do need to do the little doo-doo. I need to do the little connector bit right there, but otherwise we're pretty much chill. And then I'm going to call it a day for today. So, yeah, we'll just recap. Arthur had to go to the vet hospital. I have a gecko that's about to die. And I'm trying to work till my eyes bleed and somehow move and pack and prepare all this stuff by myself. So, if you are wondering why you haven't seen me as frequently, it's because I've got real life stuff this whole month. So, outside of the fun and games of painting, I got stuff to do. Boom. All right, I'm happy with that. So that'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me working on this Deuterino. We built up all of the greens on the tabard there, all of the browns on the belt, prepped the brass bell, and started to prep the scythe. So if I do stream tomorrow, I'll be working on the same dude. We'll start building up the rest of the miniature as well as we then begin to start rendering out the highlights on the OSL. And the OSL may take a different that is hilarious. Can you tell me the best way to clean the airbrush? Jesus Christ. You guys are going in for the win today with these comments. What a spicy day. So, anyway, that's it. I'm going to take a quick break and then get back to work. But whatever, you know, peace, love, and crappiness, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow, if not for sure on Friday, for more Reaper Fridays. I don't know what we're gonna do in terms of the... Sorry, I'm literally knocking my camera the whole time. I don't know what we're gonna do in terms of Reaper Fridays. Maybe a giveaway. I've been giving away too much stuff, so I'm kind of pooped out on that. But either way, we'll figure it out. I'll see you guys then. Take it cheesy.